We have to take back our country. To state that we have to take it back suggests we're somehow losing it. Make no mistake, I'm not just suggesting that, I'm stating that emphatically. But who are we losing it to? You already know the answer to this. We're losing it to political leaders who think they always know better, even though they don't understand economics, even though they have never run a business, even though they all know is how to keep their jobs in Washington, D.C. And of course, the best example of this type of leader is the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and all of the lemmings in the House who are following her off the cliff. Lemmings who vote with her virtually all the time. Lemmings who have no real experience related to solving the problems that face our great country. Lemmings like Betty Sutton. If I'm elected to the United States House of Representatives, I commit to the following. I will support the balanced budget amendment. I will support and vote in favor of deficit reduction. I will support efforts to end illegal immigration and oppose all amnesty for illegals. I will also support measures that will prohibit cities from providing sanctuary for aliens and support policies that will require employers to act within the laws. If they can't find a job, they won't come here. I will oppose any U.S. trade legislation that sends American jobs overseas. I'll support tax policies which lower the tax burden on our families and businesses and incentivize job creation. I will support term limits of no more than 3 terms, 6 years as it relates to the House. As a demonstration of my commitment to this guarantee, I will add this guarantee to my oath of office administered when I enter the House, which I consider to be a solemn vow. Further, should I fail to act in accordance with any of these commitments, I will resign.
In the summer of 2009, you were on record saying cash for clunkers was a good idea. You now say it was not. Why the change? How many cars did your dealership sell under the program?
Okay. Boy, if there's anyone that can answer this question better than I'd welcome them. I was interviewed near the end of August. As you remember, Cash for Clunkers was primarily an August program. Someone interviewed me then and said, "How is business with Cash for Clunkers?" I said, "It's very good. We're selling a tremendous amount of cars." They said, "Wow, so we can quote you to say that Cash for Clunkers has stimulated business." I said, "Yes, you can." Now, here's exactly what happened. Everyone that was thinking about buying a car in September and October and November and December and January all came forward because the government was offering $3,500 to $4,500. They all came forward and bought in August. So you had this tremendous spike in business. But the true test was that I was interviewed again in January, and they said, "How was the year?" The year was terrible. We sold 22% less cars in 09 with Cash for Clunkers than we did in 08. And the numbers are burned into my memory. In calendar year 08, we, the industry nationwide, sold 13.1 million cars. Cash for Clunkers in 09, we just hit 10 million cars for the whole year. So when you have an opportunity to evaluate a program long-term and what's its sustainability is, it was a failure. It was a classic failure because we sold so many less cars. Now let me tell you what else we did. Nobody ever thinks of this. No one thought to talk to anyone in the auto industry. Every car that we took in on trade, we had to destroy immediately. Now, certainly there were clunkers that came in, but there were also a lot of nice cars. I'd like to use the example of the 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme that came into one of my stores with 40,000 miles. It was pristine, and we destroyed it. Now let me tell you how that affected people that our president tries to help the most. The lowest income people, the lower income people on the ladder, had no opportunity to buy cars that they could afford. We took them all off the market and we destroyed them. So now someone that's making small salary and normally pays $5,000 or $6,000 for a car, there aren't any. There weren't any. So what happened is, in the free enterprise system, supply and demand kicked in. So now a car that should have sold for $4,000 or $5,000 was selling for $7,000 and $8,000, and people couldn't afford it that would normally buy those. I bet none of you ever thought of that. We took all the cars away from the lower income people. That certainly could not have been the plan, but that was a reality. But if someone would have asked ahead of time, could have easily told them the answer to that. So cash for clunkers definitely failed. On the same side, ladies and gentlemen, the government was paying $4,500 or $3,500 a car. They could have got the same job done with $1,500, but they didn't ask. You know, they didn't ask experienced automobile people. They just knew the answer. Well, what they knew or thought they knew was wrong.
Again, a couple questions on this point. Why have you refused to debate Betty Sutton at the Akron Press Club and the Cleveland City Club?
Okay, I have agreed. I debated Betty Sutton last week in Lorain County, and I'm scheduled to debate her tonight on WTAM radio. I turned down a couple of other opportunities because the playing field wasn't fair, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to have a debate anytime, anywhere, as long as the playing field is level and even. I don't think there's a single person out here that would go into an area that they knew they weren't welcome and would be severely attacked. I can tell you, as never being in politics before, I have been severely attacked with lies.
Got to do a follow-up on that one, because I guess I need to know for the press club what in this atmosphere you think would have been unfair to you.
This atmosphere? I don't think that this atmosphere would have been unfair to me. There were some conflicts with some of the times that we were talking about here. I think the Cleveland City Club would have been unfair. And you need to know just a little bit about me. The Cleveland City Club, when I was running for the United States Senate, they decided to ignore me. So I returned the favor.